you a few ways that you can actually use the foam roller in order to reduce injuries as a runner. As runners, we develop hot spots and tight spots in our legs that, if not taken care of, they can become very tight and ultimately lead to strains and maybe even tears. So I want to actually show you what you can do to sort of iron out some of those hot spots and keep your legs loose and allow you to run injury free. So the first one I want to show you is rolling out the ITB. So the ITB actually starts down here in the knee, and it goes all the way up into the hip, and a lot of people experience tightness there, and that's just due to, you know, the miles of running, and so I want to actually show you how to actually roll that out. So this is the foam roller, and as you can see, I'm using a grid foam roller by Trigger Point, and it's probably the foam roller that I've found to be most helpful and one of the most quality foam rollers out there. And so you're going to start off by placing your knee on the foam roller, and then what you're going to do, and sometimes I can put my top leg on here, that adds a little bit more pressure and it can actually hurt a little bit more. Or if you want to just start off just with one leg, you're going to gradually roll just very slowly up that side of that leg all the way up to the hip. And this is definitely going to hurt your first few times. You have to get used to this. As you do this regularly, you'll find it'll hurt less and less because, well, you're more limber and rolling things out that require attention on a daily basis. So as you can see, I'm going all the way up into the hip, and then you can even just roll it right back down. As you can see, I'm just kind of moving slowly, feeling a rolling out on the side there, all the way up and down that band. So that's the ITB. The next area I want to show you is just simply getting the hamstrings. And as you can see, I have a roller that is just wide enough to be able to get both of my legs, or you can actually just go one leg at a time. I'm going to show you both legs, and I like to start right under the knees. Then I like to kind of prop myself up with my arms, and I'm just gradually rolling. Again, just getting those hamstrings. If I notice a hot spot, I'm actually just going to linger there until it sort of loosens up. And that's really what Trigger Point is finding a spot, holding it there until the muscle loosens. And so I'm going to actually go all the way up to the rear end and then right back down slowly all the way down to the bottom of the knee. So again, you can do one as well. Really just depends on what you're most comfortable with. So that's the hamstring. And then I'm going to actually go down into the calves. Now this is probably the area that I feel I need to pay attention to most. I know some people it's the ITB, some people it may be the hamstrings. For me it's the calves. And so I like to start kind of just around where my Achilles are, and then sort of prop my Achilles up there on the grid, and I'm going to slowly roll toward the knee. You're going to really feel some little knots in your calves at times, especially if you're running a lot on pavement or concrete. Things just sort of build up in the calves. They take a lot of force, and so I'm just kind of rolling them all the way to the bottom of the knee, and then I'm going to roll back down. Again, if you notice hot spots, just hold it there, let it release, and then you're going to keep going down in through the Achilles. Now, a little added benefit, if if you want to really start to notice some pain, in terms of a good pain, you want to sort of turn your feet outward just a bit so that you're kind of getting the side of that calf like this, because that is where a lot of knots can build up. So you're kind of keeping your feet pointed outward, and I'm really feeling that right now. Noticing a couple knots right there. So I'm going to hold that. Then I'm just kind of slowly working that up through the bottom of the knee. Eventually it'll just sort of roll out. So again, you can go back and forth on that several times until you feel that it's been sufficient. And one final area I want to show you is actually the quads. The quad is actually the largest muscle in your body, and so the quads can also take a lot of force in terms of the run. So I like to just start the foam roller right there where my knees are. I like to get over it. So I got my knees right here, and now I'm just rolling backwards all the way toward my midsection, getting all the way through the top of the quad, and then moving back, rolling toward the knee. And again, sometimes I can really notice knots, and it's almost like I'm using a rolling pin and working the dough, you know, getting those knots rolled out all the way down to the knee. So it will be a discomfort at first, and if you're doing it regularly, you're going to notice less and less knots, but it's going to be well worth it. You're going to be well on your way to running injury-free and keeping those hot spots at bay. So this is CJ Hitz reminding you to train well, race well.